I can only tell you every single day on this show, there's some little twist or turn. And again, tomorrow, I think there is going to be a big story that will impact the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that tomorrow is a day that Pac-12 fans are going to be very probably not happy. So, I mean, am I wrong? I would think not. I would think not wrong.
We're not saying what that is because we're not allowed to say it yet. So, we're not.
There's a lot of not allowed to say it yet news.
We're not. Yeah, there's quite a bit on the pile of things that are still classified information, if you will.
I think the next 10 days is absolutely going to be bananas when it comes to television industry news. And I think you will get some NBA TV stuff coming up. I would think it would happen this week. I could be wrong. I probably jumped the gun a little bit. I think you will get some big NBA TV stuff around the play-in tournament that Adam Silver talked about today. Are you excited about that? I'm a big proponent of this in-season FA Cup style play-in tournament where you essentially you're gonna. It almost feels like you're gonna use a lot of your younger talent. It's gonna have a huge prize purse attached to it. I think there's gonna be special TV for that, which I think is coming.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how all of that plays out. But I think in the next 10 days, you're going to see a lot of news is going to break. And I think it's going to start this week. And I think Pac-12 fans are going to be very frustrated because I don't believe that we're going to see the positive outcome that the Pac-12 was hoping for. I think that, again, this is one of the main reasons you see them talking to the CW, NBC Universal, Ion TV. Like, you hear about all these names being thrown out because I think George Kliavkoff is out there looking. And, today, I think one of the real talking points is that you have to figure out what you need to do. If you're the Pac-12, I think there's one thing you can do to save yourself. And I think that one thing is copy the setup of the Big 12. That is, it was brought up to me a couple of days ago, and I've chewed on it for a few days, that why doesn't the Pac-12 have an event-style conference tournament the way the Big 12 does?
And when we say event-style, what is that? What do you mean
I mean
event?
a Hollywood awards show style concert production, food, beer, beverage, convention style event. That's not what the Pac-12 tournament is. The Pac-12 tournament is just a bunch of people hanging out in Vegas watching basketball games, which I think is a huge problem for the Pac-12 because we know now what Brett Yormark's vision for Kansas City in the Big 12 basketball tournament is, and I think it destroys anything that the Pac-12 is doing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, I think one of the realities that you have to come to nowadays is that your money is not exclusively coming from TV anymore. You better embrace that. And when we talk about the one thing the Pac-12 has to do to survive, and really, let's be brutally honest what it is, they need to find a way to keep these 10 schools in the conference. To do that, I think they need to embrace the fact that they're not going to get the TV deal they wanted, but hey, here is our plan to make up that money and then some.
Well, what's the old saying? Hey, it's not the problem, it's your reaction to the problem. And
I would agree.
Your problem right now is that you're not going to get a TV deal that you wanted, by any, nobody, no matter who you ask, even Canzano would tell you that they're not getting the original $50 million, amazing TV deal. Okay, cool. You're not going to get that TV deal. But what are you going to do to cover that gap? Because everybody seems to forget that the Big 12, their schools are rolling in and raking in like $50 million a year off all these events. And yeah, the TV deal is $31.5 a year, but you've got all this other revenue coming in. And so, as we were kind of, as he said, spending the last couple of days thinking about this conversation, it does kind of beg the question. At what point, if you're the Pac-12, do you start to try to figure out, what positive thing can we sort of create? Because ultimately, I think that's what the Pac-12 has left right now. I almost feel like if I was George Kliavkoff, instead of going around and trying to get, the ESPNs of the world to pay you more than you want them to pay you, to get them to pay you more than they want to pay you. Why not just take what's on the table, get the deal done, get past this portion of the conversation, and then build around what opportunity you have? Because there's no denying that you could easily build an event around an Oregon football game. You could easily build an event around these different, games that you have going on. So why would you not try to expand the scope of your football games?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why not think of these sporting events as like baseline events, but then what do we do around those that allows us to make money? That, I think, is a fascinating idea.
But I also think there's a lot in these conversations about being stubborn and being obtuse and not being flexible. I mean, if you look at all of these leagues, and I'll just go to the NBA. I look at the NBA in this in-season tournament, this November-December tournament that Adam Silver talked about with Sports Business Journal today. I don't think there's any doubt that it's going to be a one-off, very different feel than an NBA game. I would more liken it to, 3-on-3. Like, I think you're going to see different uniforms. I think you're going to see different sponsors. I think you're going to see a different TV deal. I think you're going to see a whole different thing because it's a whole new revenue source. So if I look at the NFL, how has the NFL innovated to keep their billions from becoming millions? Well, what they did is they added Thursday Night Football, and they tuned up Saturday, Sunday to end the season, and they got a Monday package. They got a new Sunday night package. They got a Thursday deal. They got an Amazon deal. They got, you just keep evolving. Thursday Night Football was not great. It was struggling. All right, let's put it on Amazon, and let's really throw some resources behind it.
Yeah.
Now let's add multiple Thursday night games per season per team. Let's add another game to the schedule. Who has stood still in professional sports and survived? Nobody. As much as I hate the pitch clock, it's actually doing its job in Major League Baseball. If we're being honest, game times are down, runs are up, offense is up. It's done its job. That's innovation. I look at the NBA, this tournament, the play-in tournament, this in-season tournament, innovation. I look at Brett Yormark. I look at the Big 12. I see Kansas City. I see Rucker Park. I see Mexico. They're doing all of these things to innovate. Now look at the Pac-12 and tell me just one thing that the Pac-12 has done to innovate, because I don't know what that is. They haven't added teams. They have, in fact, contracted 2 teams. They haven't got a new TV deal. They haven't streamed. They haven't done anything. Deion Sanders. You want to talk about innovation? Isn't Deion Sanders the innovation director for the Pac-12 now? Because he's doing Mic'd Up and he's doing docudramas and he's got his own YouTube show. And what's the Pac-12 doing? How did Pac-12 networks work out? It didn't. This is what I'm talking about. Until you evolve and until you grow. I think women's sports in this country, this is absolutely the exact same thing. You look at the innovation in women's sports and you look at the way that they are doing stream things and one-off and behind the scenes and, the mic'd up and the follow around and the lifestyle stuff that you're seeing from women's athletes. Like Lindsey Vonn retired. She's still out in front of the media. She's doing X Games. She's doing the Olympics. You have to be creative as you can be. And the Pac-12's not doing that. And I think that is the single biggest issue. That is the one thing that the Pac-12 can do. Okay, take it in. Let it rest on your chest for a minute. We're screwed. We're not going to get the money. We are not going to get the revenue that we need from our TV deal.
This is a code 10 abort.
Instead, we're going to innovate with X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Where is that? Because I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
I think they're in trouble. I honestly, every day that goes by that the Pac-12 doesn't have a TV deal, I feel like they could be going away.
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels like, every day that goes by, you're just going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. And I think that, it becomes increasingly difficult to dig out of that. But I still maintain that this is the kind of attitude and mentality you have to have if you do want to survive. And I also think that if you were to roll out something like what we're discussing here, an event style thing around football games and being real aggressive and being real positive and upbeat and everything, I do think that would help you maintain and retain the 10 current members that you have, because now they have something that they can go out and they can sell. They have something that they can go out and they can work with. And I think that ultimately is what you have to do if you're George Kliavkoff in this conference to survive. You can't just keep begging TV distributors to give you more money than they see fit, because ultimately that's not going to happen. And it's just unfortunate. And I do think that a lot of people love having the conversation right now about, well, should they fire George or whatever? Well, if this never gets brought to the table, if there's never a conversation about like, hey, look at what the Big 12 is doing here and what are they doing there? We could do those same things. We just have to make that happen. If that conversation never happens, then I think you probably have to have a conversation about firing George.
Well, and again, I'll go back to, well, let me stay right there. The firing George Kliavkoff thing, I think, is real.
Yeah.
Because I think he's lost 2/3 of this conference. I think I think 6 out of these 10 presidents are off the Kliavkoff bandwagon. Like, I think the disappointment, frustration, anger levels, the embarrassment levels, the bad PR, these are not people that are used to bad PR. These presidents are used to invisibility. And I think when you look at the fact that a lot of these presidents now are front and center nationally, they're not comfortable in those spotlights. They are not.
Yeah.
And I think that I already think that's a distinct possibility. But I go back to San Diego State. The ultimate savior was San Diego State. And I think, again, I will dislocate my shoulder patting us on the back here, but I think we've been the ones that have been telling you San Diego State doesn't fix what's wrong with the Pac-12.
Facts.
It doesn't. And all of these conversations about UNLV or Fresno State or SMU, none of them fix what's wrong with the Pac-12. Mm-hmm. Not singularly, not collectively. None of them fix what's wrong with it. You don't get more reach by adding one or all of them. You simply don't. And by the way, you don't get more revenue out of your TV partners by adding one or all of them. And obviously, there's an argument to be made about San Diego State, but you're not getting P5 money for San Diego State.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to get P5 money, if you're not going to get 20 to 22 million more for San Diego State, what's the point of doing it? What is the point of doing it? And I think I could make the argument there's not a whole lot of point in doing that.
Yeah.
So I just,
yeah,
I don't know. It continues to be a dire thing. Well, Taco and Tech, yeah. The 30 for 30 on the 2023 PAC media negotiation will be appointment TV for ESPN.
Correct.
Dude, I don't disagree. Scott of Graywater Watch. Okay.
What time is it?
Where's Notre Dame going? Notre Dame's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe when the ACC breaks up, there are other sports eventually, maybe football. I doubt it. I don't think Notre Dame's going anywhere. I just don't see and we've talked about this before as well, is somebody that grew up a Notre Dame fan in Chicago, there's just no reason for them they're making all the money they need to make, and that's truly what the conversation's about.
Yeah.
They're not even having to grind for it. They're really not having to grind for it. Tanner says Notre Dame's staying independent. Jay Chapman, nobody saw the OU Texas move to the SEC. Oh, really? I disagree with that. As a catalyst that would lead to the demise of the Pac-12. I don't think that's what led to the demise of the Pac-12. I think that the Pac-12 has done a very good job of insulating itself. And I think the Pac-12 does not care what the SEC or anybody else does.
Yeah.
Which is a problem, by the way. I think USC and UCLA left because they wanted greener pastures financially. And I think that they were not on board with anything that was going on or anything that was going to go on. I think a lot of people have argued that USC is the one that engineered this, and they did not like George Kliavkoff from the jump. She did not like him, which I agree with. J.K. Marshall says Jake equals so fired up right now. Well, you do have a date tonight.
Right. Yeah, I do.
So
yeah, I do, actually, yeah.
I say I'm just fired up to be here today.
Bob Holsey says PAC can add strippers to their tournament, but the strippers need to have SATs over 1,300 and large endowments. Well, don't most strippers have large endowments already?
Look at me.
I mean,
yeah, that's a good point, actually. I mean, that's a really, you know what that is? That's an educated observation.
Rick Olson. The PAC's, the PAC goes from a good media deal to crisis mode and keeping the conference from ending. Pitiful. Well, I don't disagree with that. Let's see. What is a bathroom elevator pitch? J.K. Marshall. Tanner says that would be cool with the NBA during an in-season tournament. It'll make the regular season more exciting. I think that's true. I think that is true. Aren't MLB organizations losing in-stadium revenue? No, I would disagree with that. I don't think they are. Truck Stop Gumby says Grande 12. Tanner says an argument could be made that Thursday Night Football is bad for the sport because of the short weeks that are given to the teams. I disagree. Because what's good for the sport is more money. And I don't think there's any doubt the players make money on Thursday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. It's a fake plan to put pressure on the four corners. What's that? What am I missing? Like a ton of comments today?
What's the deal
here,
I
feel like we're a little fragmented. Like, what you mean, man? What's a two masters? Give me an idea what you mean there, because Brett Yormark's burner phone says, "Why are you picking on me? The back of the envelope says I'm great. I'm sure it does. I am sure it does." Truck Stop Gumby says Monty mic'd up, brought to you by Bucked Up. I mean, that's must watch TV.
That is appointment television.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Scott of Greywater says, say it with your chest.
Bless up.
You know what I'm saying? Say it with your chest. Bryce Martin says, not to mention the Big 12 doing a conference-wide pro day at the Cowboys facility.
Yes.
More innovation. Like it truly is a weekly thing that the Big 12 makes these announcements that just gives you another reason to, hey, we're not going to leave this conference. Hey, we're making money. Hey, here's a new revenue stream. Like, it feels like every single week.
Yeah.
Every week. Tanner says, I've made up my mind. I'm going to get a Bucked Up this afternoon.
Well.
Me?
Welcome to the show, buddy. Welcome to the show. Bigfoot Duck says, you hear about companies, organizations that bring in business killers. I'm beginning to feel like this is why Georgie Poo was brought on to do. How can someone be this bad? Well,
but I don't know that he's okay. I don't know that he's this bad. I think the problem is he's just not that good. That's the problem, and it's two different things. I mean, you can be average and keep your job, but if you're garbage, like if you can't do anything, then you're going to get fired. And I think that's a key distinction. Like Brett Yormark is excelling. Brett Yormark is just so over the top successful already that you would never fire the guy. But the problem is George Kliavkoff just has been so mediocre that there's no getting around the fact that he's been so mediocre. And he doesn't, like, if you said to George, hey, George, dude, what's been your success? Like, what's been your success as a commissioner? I don't know either. So that's why I say there's no getting around it. He's been average, but I don't know. Like, the problem is that Pac-12 leadership, I don't know that they're feeling like he's been average. I think that they want to see this TV deal, and then they're going to make a decision based on the TV deal. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we've heard that from, President Robbins at Arizona.
Totally.
We've heard that from multiple people that it's like, hey, we just got to see the deal and then we'll make a decision. And that's what I feel like will decide the fate.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Bryce Martin, it's the side effect of running a good old boys club. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Outside the echo chamber, Oregon already losing in the portal. Can you guys believe how many people were in the portal after spring football? Like, it's thousands of guys got in the portal. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I still maintain that I don't know if the transfer portal has been good for college sports. I'm not convinced it has been.
USC wouldn't be what it is.
I don't know. Two Masters says there's some report the UNLV is the Big 12's plan B, Monty. Well, we talked about that yesterday. I don't think it is. I disagree with that. I think that is, I believe that was Dennis Dodd. I could be wrong. But I think I don't believe that's the case.
I don't think that UNLV is plan B. I think they're plan like 57. I think they're just another option that the Big 12 has. And the Big 12 has a priority list, and UNLV is not high on that priority list. However, you can't tell me that once the Pac-12 TV deal coming out, once a Pac-12 TV deal is announced, or really what I should be saying is once a resolution, a decision comes on the Pac-12 TV deal that says one way or the other, then I think you'll start to see the Big 12 start to take some action in the expansion space. But I just don't think that it's smart for them to do anything related to the Pac-12 right now. Let the Pac-12 burn if you're the Big 12. Let them die on their own hill.
Yeah, and I think we say it every month. I think UNLV is a really interesting proposition.
Yeah.
But I can tell you San Diego State, who would you rather have instead of UNLV? San Diego State, certainly Gonzaga. I'm SMU or UNLV.
I think it's tough.
For the Big 12, I'd probably rather have SMU.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, you already have the market, though. Does SMU really help you? Probably not.
For Brett Yormark, though, I wonder if acquiring Las Vegas is less about UNLV and more about business ops and business opportunities. I wonder, imagine like if you can do that with Kansas City, what can you do in Vegas? If you can do that with
they've already had Vegas. They've already had Vegas, and you to me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Ron Nolan says Wednesday hump day. Just saying, Jake.
We're working on it, bro.
Jake's got a fourth date with the same person tonight.
Anita Dick and Ming.
You know, I don't believe that's the way her name's pronounced.
Anita Dick.
I could be wrong. I don't see value in UNLV. With all due respect, I just think they're not somebody that has leverage to play.
Exactly.
Right? Because the Pac-12's not knocking on their door. The Big 12, I mean, let's pretend it's absolutely true that they're plan B for the Big 12. Why would you say that? Why would you categorize like that's it? Does that make sense that that's how you would
Yeah.
I just don't. That's me, but I think you look at George Kliavkoff, more to your point. Is George Kliavkoff incompetent? I don't think he's incompetent. I just don't know that anybody could have shoveled their way out of that much BS on day one of the job. I think Larry Scott, that guy was incompetent. Couldn't get a TV deal done. Couldn't look past the nose on his face. I think he spent so much money that should be in their coffers right now. I think I could argue he likely cost the Pac-12 billions.
Yes.
Larry Scott.
Yes.
Billions of dollars. And whether that's in TV revenue, whether that is in ad dollars, corporate sponsors, expenses.
Just unrealized revenue, man.
Money that went out that never came back in and money that never came in. Billions of dollars.
Yeah.
I don't know how you dig out of a financial hole that deep. And the one thing you can say about Kliavkoff is he just got outmaneuvered.
Yeah.
That's really what what the issue with George is. I don't think George is a bad business person. I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he is not he's not a killer. You need a fucking savage in that position right now.
Yes.
You need somebody that'll sharpen a sickle and go lopping heads off, dude. Like, you need somebody that just does not care. We're getting this deal done. And you need somebody who can get all of these presidents in line and say, here's the plan. This is what we're doing.
Look at me.
And if you don't want to do that, maybe I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
That's what the Pac-10 needs. The 10 remaining schools in the Pac-12, that's what they need. Nobody believes in George Kliavkoff.
Yeah.
Nobody. I don't think anybody believes he can deliver a deal that is on par with the largest or the smallest of the players. I truly do not.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you do about that.
Well, and if you're the thing is like, I understand that George, maybe didn't hit the ground running when he joined the conference, but I think my biggest thing with George Kliavkoff right now is you've had time now, man. Like, You've had plenty of time to sit back and observe and pay attention. I mean, as the commissioner of a P5 conference, you should always be in the news cycle. In fact, if I was a commissioner of a P5 conference, I'd have Buddy staying in the news cycle for me and giving me all the top headlines in the industry daily, hourly, like all the time. And so my point with that is you can't tell me that George Kliavkoff hasn't seen what Brett Yormark is doing. And if you've seen what Brett Yormark is doing, why are you not adopting some of those principles to up your conference's chance for survival? That's where George loses me. Like the beginning stuff, hey, cool, you got outmaneuvered. It is what it is. But now you've been here long enough, and now it's time to start give me something, man. You're a commissioner. It's your job to make us money, which is why people like Roger Goodell are never going to get fired. Roger Goodell is going to retire as the commissioner because he's done such a damn good job.
And he will retire as a commissioner that's probably a billionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, he is making the NFL that much money.
Yeah.
And it is... I just don't know how many other ways you can say it.
Yeah.
I just feel like the thing that is plaguing the Pac-12 is that they just don't ever get bucked up. And I don't know how I can convince the get bucked up, man. Like, get the pixie pump. See what I did there? Just slid it right in, which Jake's not going to do later. Anyway, my point is the official energy drink. The official energy drink of the Monty Show is Bucked Up Energy. Should we crack one right here? Let's go. So you've got the Pixie Pump and the Mango Tango. Dude, I have not been able to find, the irony about Bucked Up? So they sell Bucked Up here at the Maverick Center. The fridge right at the top of the stairs is full of Bucked Up Miami.
Do we have the access codes? No.
It's locked up tight. Can't get it. And it's almost like, I can smell it, but you can't have any, right?
It's pretty good.
But I guess I'll settle for Mango Tango.
Yeah.
Bucked Up Energy, it's amazing. I'm telling you, Tanner was saying earlier, he's finally going to get on board. I'm telling you guys, if you don't get on board, you're making a mistake. Bucked Up Energy is where it's at. And I am a huge believer that Bucked Up Energy is the best energy product that I've ever worked with. These Pixie pumps that Jake's got right there, this little tube of awesomeness.
Pixie pump.
It's powder that I put it under my tongue, and it just wakes you up. It gives you mental clarity. When you have that lull, like mine today was about 10:30. I worked out this morning, got up early, worked out hard. Today was a big cardio day. Today was a big flexibility and strength day.
We're getting ready to get on the golf tour. So, we're getting in shape here,
I'm telling you, when you need a little mental lift without stimulant, the Pixie Pump is the way to go. It's stim-free. Whether it's that, I had my collagen and my greens in my morning shake today. They have everything that you need. Whether it's protein, whether it's, the zero sugar Bucked Up Energy, hook it up. Stop by any of their Utah locations, a Bucked Up Energy. I personally shop at Murray, Orem, or South Jordan, just depending on where I'm at in the world. They're good people to do business with. Ryan Gardner and the Gardners that founded the company are innovators. They're Utahns. I'm telling you guys, you can't go wrong with Bucked Up. Get the free samples. That's the best way I know that's the best way I know how to show you that Bucked Up's amazing.
Yes.
Get the free samples in the description below.
I want it.
You get 3 samples of any of their products that you want. So you pick the different samples out, and then you get to pick your color combination of your shaker cup. The best shaker cup. It's bulletproof. I have dropped it on the ground. I dropped it out of my car door. Doesn't crack, doesn't break. Freaking amazing. Get the free samples right now in the description below. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off your purchase at buckedup.com. Jansen says, I've used Bucked Up for almost 2 years. It's amazing.
Yes,
Love it, dude.
is.
Love it. Simon says 5-hour energy, pump it up. Hey, man.
Honestly, dude, I've never been a huge 5-hour guy.
5-hour, and this is the difference between, and I'm not ripping 5-hour energy. If it's your thing, knock yourself out, dude. 5-hour energy just has never hit for me. Like, I need When I use an energy product, particularly a non-stim, that's what I love about these Pixie Pumps. I need it to work. I need my mind to be sharper. I need to be awake. You know that mid-morning, after-lunch fog that you catch?
The haze.
That's got to go away just like this. I don't have time for that during my day. I'm too busy. I'm telling you, that's what the Pixie Pump, that's what all of the Bucked Up energy products do. I love it. Make sure you hook that up. Let's see. Tanner says, so now I have a class at 12:40, which is right after my lunch, so I'm falling asleep by the time I get to class. I might need to get me some Bucked Up. Tanner, you absolutely do, and I'm telling you,
dude.
The Pixie Pump is a great way to go about that.
Yeah, the nice thing about the Pixie Pump is, like, first of all, it's super light. Like, so if you're walking around a campus or, like, you're on the go, it's super light. I mean, you don't even notice it's in your bag, until you're looking for it. And I think, the great thing is, like, it tastes good and it dissolves quickly and it works. It works, man.
And, by the way, the other thing that I tell people is the ingredients are what I love about Bucked Up. The other thing about other energy drinks, and we've struggled with this because we use energy drinks a lot, all the sugar and all of the nonsense that comes in those products, that's what scares me. When I get like the greens, Darren Ingram, our guy up at Canyons Golf, the official golf course of the Monty Show, Darren Ingram turned me on to the Bucked Up collagen. And I got to tell you, I'm putting that in my morning shake. Mrs. Monty does a great job. She gets all of our ingredients. We do a morning shake. We have chia seeds and flaxseed and like raw coconut, a bunch of stuff that we put in there. And I've started adding a scoop of collagen to it. Dude, it makes a huge difference. It works. That's what I'm saying. All right, Bucked Up, the official energy drink and energy products of the Monty Show. Jansen says 5-hour energy gives me a headache because it's too sugary. That's what I'm saying. J.K. Marshall, Jake's packing extra Claritin because of her 9 cats. Stay bucked up, dude. Your girl got 9 cats?
Nah, dude.
She hasn't got time.
She's a dog person, man. And she doesn't have a dog.
Yeah, and by the way, she's kind of a big deal, this girl.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
I'm so bricked up right now.
I'm telling you. Cody Strickland, what's up, my dude? A lot of exciting series happening this year. Good business for the NBA, I would agree. Brad Turner, I broke my Bucked Up shaker cup when it fell out of my backpack in a parking lot. I'm trying to decide if I can order another one free to another address in good conscience. Dude, do you, man. Do you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what I'll tell you? Go into a Bucked Up store. They have all of them sitting right there and tell them, hey, bring them your broken cup if you still have it. I guarantee you they will give you another one.
Yeah.
Like, they're just good dudes to do business with. If you want the samples in the Bucked Up shaker cup, do it.
Yeah.
It's all good, dude. Like, there's nothing unconscionable about that, right?
Yeah.
Is that unconscionable?
Nah.
I don't think that's unconscionable. All right, a couple of super chats to get to. MJ Bissett 93 gives us $5 to say, if Pac-12 doesn't have a deal by May 1st, does that impact SMU getting added if they get a deal within 3 months after? That's too much geometry.
Yeah, it's just too hypothetical.
I don't think it matters when May 1st is an arbitrary deadline. I think truly, I'm just going to maintain that I will say 6 weeks. If George Kliavkoff goes into the summer season without a TV deal, he's going to lose somebody.
Yeah.
He's going to lose somebody. And if you lose one, I think you're going to lose 3, 4, 5 of them.
Everybody is outraged.
I'm telling you, you are, and I know my friends in the Pac-12, and I know that all of our Pac-12 fans on the show always get pissed when I say this. Humpty Dumpty, whoever you want to pick, just ask yourself, where is George Kliavkoff right now? Because you know where I think he is? He's standing on a cliff. And he's looking over the edge of that cliff. And he is either going to make a TV deal that'll pull him back, or he's going to step over and that conference is going to die with him. Because there's no other way to go about it.
Yeah.
You are at this teetering point right now where if you just lose one, because my guess is there's no more USC shocking nobody knew they were leaving. These guys now all talk. We've reported for months on this show. On a daily basis, presidents talk to each other. They're not official meetings. They're not executive sessions. These guys have cell phones, man. They pick up the phone and they call each other. Hey, it's Michael. Hey, Taylor, how are you? Like, I'm telling you, they know the pulse of each one of these guys. And in my opinion, you look at Arizona, you look at Colorado, and I'm a firm believer that Oregon State should be in play. We reported, I think, Monday. Monday was the first time I really heard somebody say, hey, you're sleeping on Oregon State. A source that I trust said, hey, Oregon State's in play. For a beautiful new facility at Research Stadium.
Yes.
Oregon State's in play. A lot of people saw that Oregon State game last year where Oregon State had a raucous crowd of like 4 people because the stadium was under construction, and they beat Oregon at home. That did not go unnoticed, man, and I know it's crazy, and I know people think I'm nuts, but do not sleep on Oregon State.
Yeah.
I'm warning you now. Stephen Smith, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Do you think that if the Pac-12 doesn't have a deal by July 1st, do you think teams will jump to the Big Ten and the Big 12? I don't think there's jumping to the Big Ten. The Big Ten's got to find new money. And, you know, I've asked a lot of people, hey, what's going on with this or what's going on with that or how are they? Nobody knows because I think the Big Ten has been so quiet because Kevin Warren has been busy and the guys and gals at the Big Ten have been trying to hire a new commissioner, and now they have. And Kevin Warren officially works for the Chicago Bears now. He's not involved in the Big Ten anymore.
Yeah.
Now they can start moving again. The ball is again rolling, right? Because they're trying to figure out, and now this commissioner, from what I understand, is doing conference calls and campus visits to the key components because the Big Ten is vast. The Big Ten is huge.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, the commissioner is going to go on select visits, and he is going to have, you know, presidents come, hey, come meet me in the Iowa campus. Come meet me at Northwestern. Come, and he's going to do little caucuses because the conference is massive now. And one of his very first stops, from what I understand, is Los Angeles with USC and UCLA. So we'll see, but that ball is going to get rolling. The Big Ten's going to have to find new money.
Yeah.
It's that simple. They've got to have a revenue stream to compensate for, because I think they're going to add 4 Pac-12 schools. If the Pac-12 comes apart, I think 4 of those schools go to the Pac-12 or go to the Big Ten.
Yes.
And you know the 4 I'm going to say are Oregon, Washington, Stanford, and Cal. I think those.
You know it all.
And I've heard repeatedly, and I still maintain, I think we're the only ones reporting this. Those 4 schools are very close.
Yeah.
Whether they want to be or not, they know that their best interests are probably tied together.
Yeah.
Because Stanford and Cal have very little athletic benefit. Very little. You're carrying them, right? Because how many NCAA tournament shares are you going to get out of Cal and Stanford? How many? And again, in the changing landscape of this stuff, and you look at the changing landscape of college sports, college basketball tournament shares now become significant. I mean, again, the commissioner of the Mountain West, Commissioner Navarez, was on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Talking about the massive amount of impact San Diego State's run into the Final Four had for them.
Facts.
And at that point, it wasn't even the final.
Yeah.
And talking about how for years now, they're going to get prorated payments on those tournament shares. It's big money now.
Yes.
So if you're not going to be a football power in Stanford, I just personally believe Stanford's too small. I think the academic component, the small student body, they have no desire to have a bigger student body. It makes playing football at a high level very difficult, right? Cal, it's the UC system, dude. Like, you explain it to me because I don't get it. They're not going to perform at a high level in football.
Yeah.
But they can get you some basketball shares at Stanford.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I think basketball really matters nowadays, man. You got to have revenue coming from basketball, too.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree. No doubt about it. Let's see who's up next. By the way, I want to say this today. I totally forgot about it. You know, dude, leading up to the show, I was on the phone. I've just been super busy, man. It's kind of been crazy, but
yeah, the phone was ringing, and there may or may not have been some sourcing of classified information and stuff.
We told you yesterday that we were pushing 16,000 subscribers. And we would have done it yesterday had we gotten the 8 subscribers during the show, but now we're well over 16,000. So I don't know what dollar figure we should use.
Put a vote in.
We want to give away an Amazon gift card to you guys. You, A, have to be a member.
Yeah.
If you are not a member, you are not going to win.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everybody who's here. And the thing that I want you to understand is without guys like Tanner Plummer, James Knight, Mayor McCluskey,
Chris Karn,
without the core members of this show, we would never be where we are right now. We wouldn't be doing almost 500,000 views a month. Do you guys understand? I said almost 500,000 views a month on this channel. It's insane. We wouldn't be doing that. If you guys didn't go and buy Bucked Up Energy, if you guys didn't go and, interact with the guys at Papa Murphy's Pizza, the Advocates, Canyons Golf, if you guys didn't do that stuff, if you didn't go and buy smokers and asado seasoning from Barbecue Pit Stop, dude, we would not be here. So we want to get back to you because you take such good care of us. We're at 16,000 subscribers. My wife said to me this morning, do you understand that that's like 6,000 subscribers in the first quarter? Yeah, it's incredible. It's
crazy, dude.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's no doubt about it.
It's ridiculous. So today we want to give away an Amazon gift card. You must be a member of the show. And I'll give you an hour until 30 past the next hour. So call it, 48 minutes. I'm going to give that away, and I'm going to start putting members in the comments. I'm going to start writing your names down. And when you leave me a good comment, we're going to put you on a list. And at the end of the show today, so in 2 hours and 15 minutes or so, we're going to give away a $100 Amazon gift card on the show.
And yeah, we're picking it. It's not random. We're picking it. You got to participate in the chat. Got to be a member.
Because there's a lot of people here who work hard. Geoff?
Another guy.
Couldn't do it without you.
Jet Wayman.
Big Jack 512 says, hey, good comment. Aiden Bynum says, good comment. Jet Wayman says, what's up, guys? Congrats on 16,000. Thank you. CJ Vance, another guy, says 16,000. Dang, that's legit. Well-deserved. Appreciate you, man. C. Kaufman, are you talking $1.99 members or $9.99 members? Just $9.99 members on gift. Anybody that's a member.
Yeah.
And furthermore, anybody that interacts with our sponsors. So if you go sign up for a $10 30-day membership at tridaytrading.com.
And you provide proof that you did, obviously.
And take a picture that you signed up. We'll put you in the drawing. If you go to buckedup.com and use the promo code Monty to get 20% off at purchase, we'll give you like 5-to-1 entries for anybody before the end of the show. You have to be a member. You have to enter to win by proving to us that you interacted with our folks. If you go to Tri-Day Trading and sign up for a 30-day, 10-day membership, we'll give you 10-to-1 entries. If you buy something at buckedup.com, use the promo code Monty, we'll give you 10-to-1 entries. How about that? Furthermore, if you show me that you went to Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com, and got asado seasoning.
Yeah.
10-to-1 entries. Pretty easy, right? Mm-hmm. Not very difficult. Bigfoot Duck says, pull it out, Jig, times 10. You know.
Oh, we have some gifting going on.
Let's go. Delaric gifted 10 show memberships. See, I like it. If you gift memberships, I will give you 10-to-1 entry into the contest. I'm telling you.
Do it.
It really is that simple, man. All you have to do.
Light it up. I want to see a lot of green in this chat
All
today,
you have to do, man. All you have to
Let's
do
go.
is interact with the show. And listen, if you don't buy memberships, if you don't interact with our partners, okay, cool. If you're a member, we'll still put you in. But if you interact with our partners, if you give away memberships, I'm going to have to eliminate Immaculate. Where's his comment? Immaculate, where are you at? He's talking about Devin Booker. Immaculate says, so how about Devin Booker now, Monty? You watch your mouth, sir.
Whoever came up with that shit need to be fired.
You watch your mouth. The sex machine is amazing. How about my guy last night? Anyway, the point is, so that's what we're doing. McKinnon Tech Dan says, congrats, guys. Mark Hale says, good comment. Geoff says, boom, that's my good comment. Jeremy Callahan, what? Exactly right. Plenty of butter for all the toast. Is Grocock going to come in and steal this with his army of fake accounts? He may. Cody Strickland, still remembering when you guys was low numbers and we have massive debates on the chat at 6 a.m. That's right. That's right. Remember that? That's right. Absolutely right. CJ Vance, does a request for more team lean squat vote count as a good comment?
That's
it does.
Right. That's right. Yeah,
it does.
Team lean all day.
Truck
team
stop
lean.
Gumby with the cowboy emojis.
Team lean, team ranch.
Two Masta says, Monty, Amazon cards aren't usable at truck stops. Damn. Mark Hale says, seems like 10K was just a few days ago, doesn't it?
Dude, it really was, though. It really was. I mean, what was that, January?
Yeah, man.
February?
It's
crazy. It was right before January because we did the giveaway.
All I'm saying is, McKinnon Tech Dan says, you just need to day trade while eating pizza that you cooked on your smoker while drinking a bucked up and then sued your boss for workman's comp.
Yeah.
Use all of our partners.
Dan's working over here, man. You see that?
Mark Hale says, good luck on the job interview. Who's got a job interview?
Who has a job interview?
Spangler. I have a big job interview tomorrow. Can I get the $100 carb to bribe them? Wow.
Bro, Spangler, what are you interviewing
Let's
for,
go.
bro?
Yeah, what are you interviewing for?
What you trying to get done?
Jeremy Callahan says, what about the bucked up samples? Those count? Yeah, absolutely. Send
bro.
us pictures.
Yep.
If you haven't gotten the bucked up samples yet, what are you waiting for? Dave Patrick, you cannot do what the Big 12 is doing because you don't have the teams in the Big 12. I don't disagree.